Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of those slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, that.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it post. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. I'm on my way. Coming up on my devotion. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like that, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Keep on sobbing, got this bitch off the hand, got this juice, got this drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, this is salt. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it post. Coming up on my I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's one West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause there's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on his beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fucking scared some. Get the banging on his beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. We was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit, lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third, lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping, kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, what you do in life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we something authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a kind. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoking, so we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it post. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. I'm on my way. Coming up on my devotion.
A imagem?
Ayalawan Banzabalawan Ban Yashala.
Ayalawan Banzabalawan Ban Yashala.
Yahweh Shem Yashai Brakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yashai Brakatah. Come on up, Art. Oh, well, we're going to do prayers. to do prayers. Oh yeah, hold on. I forgot.
La Yasha Allah.
La Yashala. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're gonna sorry, turn to face the east.
All right. First, we start with the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Haya.
Haya.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwaka.
Malak with God.
Taba'a.
Tabaa.
Ratazaka.
Ratazayaka.
Haya.
Haya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Haya.
Haya.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Nathan Lanawa.
Dunno.
Lachon.
Oh.
Kao.
Cow.
Yawam.
You walk.
Wasalak Lanawa.
Kasalak now.
Kawawath now.
Kawawath now.
Kasalach now.
Kasalak now.
Kawawath you now.
Kabawath you now.
Wahala.
Walala.
Tabi'ai now.
Tabaaya now.
Banasaya one.
Banasaya one.
Abal.
A ball.
Haushai now.
Aishai now.
Mayan.
Maya.
Right.
Right.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Ka.
Hamalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wahala.
Walala.
Wata Pa'arat.
Wata Pa'ara.
La I will love you.
Live with Lumium.
Aman.
I'm on. Now we're going to do the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done
Thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread.
and forgive us our debts
Forgive us our debts
as we forgive our
as we
debtors.
forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom
and the power,
and the power
and the glory,
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. All right, next up is the power prayer. Already. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem.
Bahashim,
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shah,
Baba Kushah.
Baba Kusha,
Nathan Lanawa.
the thunder Noah,
Hacha. Hacha.
Hakak,
Lara Pa'a.
La Rapa'ah,
Kao Makala.
Kal Makala,
Kao Madawa.
Wakal Madawa,
Hacha.
Hakak,
Latahar.
Latahar,
Hamatazarayim.
Hamatazarayim,
Hacha.
Hakak,
Lahaklayim.
Lahakwim,
Hamathium.
Hamatium,
Hacha.
Hakak,
Al Rakawa.
Al Rakawa,
Hatama'ala.
Atama'ala,
Lagarashan.
Lagarashan,
Bahashem.
Bahashim,
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shah,
The water.
the water.
Aman.
Aman. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
please give us the power
please give us the
to
power
heal all manner of
the
sickness
power to heal all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to cleanse the lepers,
the power to raise the dead,
the power to raise the dead,
the power against unclean
the
spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out.
to cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it. Next up is the blessings prayer. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Yahweh Shai,
Wa Mayaka'ala,
Wa Mayakala,
Wa Alahayim,
Wa Alahayim,
Matazab Ya'ah,
Matazab Ya'ah,
Alawap Yahana,
Alawap Yahana,
Ha Alawapyum,
Ha Alawapyum,
Hasaranyum,
Hasaranyum,
Hakwatazayanyum,
Hakwatazanyum,
Haka Yayalyum,
Hakal Ya'alyum,
Waha Akhwathyam,
Ha Akwatyum,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Bahashim,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
the water,
the water.
Aman.
I'm on. Now we're going to do the blessing prayer in English.
Mhm.
Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Yahweh Shai,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
commanding General Yohana,
commanding General Yohana,
the generals,
the generals,
the captains,
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters.
and the sisters.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you, so be it.
thank you, so be it. Psalms chapter 121. Asha,
Aisha,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Al Haharyam,
Al Haharyam,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a,
Isaiah,
Azariah,
Isaiah,
Azariah,
Ma'aim,
Ma'aim,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayam,
Shemayan,
Wa Arataza,
Wa'aratazar,
Al Yathan,
Al Yadan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Ragalka,
Regalka,
Al Yanawam,
Al Yanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'a,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'a,
Wala'ala,
Yayashan,
Waishan,
Shawamar,
Shawamar,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazalka,
Aliyad,
Al Yad,
Yamyanka,
Yamyanka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'a,
La'a,
Kaka,
Kaka,
Wayara,
Wayara,
Bala Yala,
Baya Yala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makalarai,
Makarai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza'atka,
Taza'atka,
Waba Wa'aka,
Wabawa'adga,
Ma'aitha,
Ma'ayata,
Wa'aid,
Wa'ay,
Iwalam.
I will Is it Psalms 121 in English? I will lift up my eyes into the hills,
I will lift up my eyes into the hills,
which cometh my help.
from which cometh my help.
My help cometh from
My
Yahweh,
help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is my keeper.
Yahweh is my keeper.
Yahweh is the shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is the shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. All right, Psalm chapter 83. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Demaya Lakah,
Al-Demaya Lakah,
Al-Karash,
Athkarath,
wa Al-Tashakwat,
without the Shaquat,
Al Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awayabyaka,
Awayabyaka,
Yahama Yawan,
Yahamal Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Imaka,
Al-Imaka,
Ya'ai Rayamwa,
Ya'ai Ra'amwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha,
Wayata,
Ya'ai Tazawa,
Ya'ai Tazawa,
Al-Tazapan Wanyaka,
Al-Tazapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakalwa, Wanakakidam, Magawya, Wala'a Yazakar, Sham Yasharala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawai Tazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Baryath, Yakara Salaki, Yakarathwa, Ahalia, Adawam, Wa Yashamayala, Yam Mawaaba,
Yamawagwa,
Wa Hagarium,
Wahagarium,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa Aimawan,
Wa'aimawan,
Wa Aimalak,
Wa'amalak,
Palashath,
Halashah,
I'm Yashabia,
I'm Yeshabya,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Garm Ashawar,
Gam Arshawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Arman,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarawai,
Labanya Lawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha Laham,
Aisha Laham,
Kamadyan,
Kamadyan,
Kasaya Sara'a,
Kasaya Sarah,
Kayabyan,
Kayabyan,
Banakal,
Manakan,
Kwayashwan,
Koyashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayan Da'ara,
Baya and Dayura,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'a Damaha,
La'am Daman,
Yeah. Shayathamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Nadiyab Mawa.
Nayawabu.
Ka'irab.
Ka'irab.
Wa Kazaaba.
Wakazahaba.
Wa Kazababa. Wa Katazal Manai. Kal Nasayakamwa.
Ikao Nazakatamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Naya Rasha.
Naya Rasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Ath.
Ak.
Na Awath.
Na'awah.
Alahayam.
Alahayam.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayathamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Panya.
Napanya.
Ra'acha.
Ra'aka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Tabaira.
Tabaira.
Ya'ira.
Ya'ira.
Wa Kalahaba.
Wakalahaba.
Salahat.
Talahat.
Harayam.
Hariyam.
Khan.
Khan.
Tharadapma.
Taradakma.
Basairaka.
Masaraka.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapathka.
Wapatka.
Tabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kalawan.
Kalawan.
Waya Bakwashwa.
Yabakwashwa.
Shumka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya Bahalwa.
Yahawa Balya.
Ayaid.
Aid.
Waya Kaparwa.
Yawa Kaparwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Daiwa.
Ya Daidwa.
Kaya Atha.
Kaya Ata.
Shumka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labadka.
Labadka.
Al Yawan.
Alyawan.
Al Kali Salaka. Al Kalha.
Al Kalha.
Arataza.
Arataza. This is Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thou silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace,
and be not still,
and be not still,
O God.
O God.
For lo,
For lo,
my enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up their head.
that had lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and have consulted against thy hidden one.
and have consulted against thy hidden one.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be in no more remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they had consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
and
the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
the
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur has also joined with them.
Ashur has also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes of Zabah, and as Zamuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek the name. O Lord. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. The men may know. that thou,
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
art
the most high over all the earth.
Art the most high over all the earth.
All right. And with that, we can sit down. This is Mashabia. Yeah, hey, can you give me a cup of ice? So what? And when you come back, pull that chair out.
Sorry, Christ.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. We're the I.S.U.P.K. Started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Mm-hmm. And today is the Sabbath Service, the San Antonio Sabbath Service, man.
Sorry, Christ.
Yeah, today is the San Antonio Sabbath Service, and what we do at Sabbath Service is we come in and we do we read the prayers, we read the Bible in the ancient I.S.U.P.K Kodash in the ancient Hebrew, right? And then we read it in the English for everybody also. It's just something that we've been doing since the ancient times. It's a Sabbath service, you know what I mean? We've been doing this since we became a nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been doing this since we became a nation. And if you want to follow along, download the Bible Hub app.
That's right.
You download the Bible Hub app, it's going to give you different types of Bibles that you just into the interlinear, and it'll give you the ancient Hebrew, the Yiddish, and the English. But that's what we do here. We're going back and we're keeping our culture, man. We're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord set upon us, right? Because the Lord told us to keep the Sabbath day holy, right? I mean, he's separate from everywhere else, and that's our day of rest. But we have to come and teach, and we have a Sabbath service to uphold.
That's right.
We have something to uphold on the Sabbath day,
mm-hmm.
Right? All right. As long as everybody know, did you do the Bible Hub app? You got that on your phone? We want you to follow along, huh?
Mm-hmm. Only one way to learn, right?
Right, and that's why if you have a Sabbath service in your city or where you at or close enough to you, that you should get there. You should get there and get in the spirit of your culture, man. Getting that spirit of your power, man. Getting that spirit of your culture, man. Read that Hebrew, learn that Hebrew. You know what I mean? Because this is something that is strictly for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I mean? Nobody else. And the so-called Jewish man that lives over there in our land now, he's doing the Sabbath service.
That's right.
He's trying to do it. He's copycatting us, but he's copycatting us better than what we supposed to do ourselves. Ain't that something?
They bought all the wine in the store, sir.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Ain't that something?
Right.
Ain't that something? So he's over there trying to beat us, but he's doing us. He's doing us, and our people don't even want to be us. They don't want to do us. They don't want to show up to Sabbath service because it's strenuous to get to Sabbath service because they want to lay in their beds and they want to rest. Stay out of the club on Friday night and make it to Sabbath service.
Most High Christ.
Stay out of the club on Friday nights and stay away from talking to whores and then maybe you can make it to Sabbath service so you could be at Sabbath service.
Mm-hmm.
Hell.
Yeah, all right. We left off in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 8. That's where we're gonna pick up from. Last time we finished up. I'm talking about reading up until when Adam and Eve, ate of the fruit of the garden. Right after that, that's where we picking up from, and because this is where it all goes down right here. We feeling the effects from that time even today. And what we're about to read right now is very imperative because what happened here is affecting your life every single day here still. You know what I'm saying? In 2022. So it's definitely important to go back, as the scripture says, for the things that are written aforetime were written for our learning, right? So we got to go back and read what happened before so that we can know history and then understand what direction we need to make when we're moving about our day-to-day lives and moving forward. So like I was adding that. While you catching up, we left off at Genesis 3 and 8, or we starting at Genesis 3 and 8? We starting at Genesis 3 and 8, sir, because we finished verse 7.
Yeah, no sweat.
All right, we get everybody this. Genesis chapter 3, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Wayashmaiwa, Atha, Kwawal, Yahweh, Alahayim, Matha, Mathalak, Bagan, Lara'ah, Hayawam, Wayathabaa, Ha-Adam, Wa-Ashath, Wa, Mapanau, Yahweh, Alahayim, Bathawak, Aitazah, Hagan, verse 9. Wayakora'ah, Yahweh, Alahayim, Al, Ha'adam, Wayama'ar, Lawa, Ayaka, verse 10. Okay, it says, Waya Amar, Atha, Kalka, or Salakian, Kalak, Shamai, Shamatha, Bagan, Wa'ayara, Kaya, Ayaram, Anakaya, Wa'athabaa, verse 11. Waya Amar, Ma'ai, Hagayad, Laka, Kai, Ayaram, Atha, Haman, Ha'aitazah, Ashar, Tazawa, Yathayar, so like it, Yathaka, Laba Lathaya, Akal, Mamanawa, Akaltha, verse 12.
Salakia.
Oh, you're good.
This is great.
Waya Amar, Ha-Adam, Ha-Asha, Ashar, Batha, Batha, yeah. Imad, yeah. Hawa'a, Nathanha, Haya, Laya, Manaya, Ha'aitazah, Wa'akal, verse 13. Waya Amar, Yahweh, Alahayim, La'asha, Maha. And it says, Za'ath, Aishayath, Wathamar, Ha'asha, Hanahash, Hashaya, oh, I have to see, how's it pronounced again? It says, Hasha Ya'anya, Hasha Ya'anya, Wa'akal, verse 14. Waya Amar, Yahweh, Alahayim, Al, Hanahash, Kaya, Ashayath, Za'ath, Arawar, Atha, Makal, Habahama, Wamakal, Hayath, Hashadah, Al, Gahanak, Gahanaka, Thalak, Apar, Tha'akal, Kal, Yamaya, Hayayak. That's the end of verse 14, sir.
All right, now let's read the English.
All right. In the English, Genesis chapter 3 and verse 8, it reads, "And they heard the voice of the Lord, Yahweh, walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord, Yahweh, amongst the trees of the garden."
Stop. So he said now they're talking about so now they ate the fruit, right? Eve was tricked by the serpent to eat eat of the trees of the garden, right? Mm-hmm. Which means, well, we know now it's not. Was somebody at the door? Go check it out. Look through the peephole first. So, but we already know that's not talking about literal fruit. You know what I mean? It's talking about the doctrines of the other nations.
Right.
Nobody's there? Don't open the door. Don't open the door. Ain't nobody there. Don't open the door. We know that it's talking about the understanding of the other nations, mm-hmm. right? So that's what she gave Adam. She ate off the understanding of the other nations, the doctrines of the other nations, the Christianity, the Buddhism, the Islam, right? So she ate off that, and then she brought that nonsense to Adam, right? And then Adam started to try to do those things, just like Solomon and his wives. Right, his wives were he had wives from other women from other nations, mm-hmm. right? And then he started to build temples and resurrect temples to their gods. It's no different from Adam understanding pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. You know what I mean? Eating that stuff and bats. And you know what I mean? There's no difference. There's no difference. Keep going, Art.
Okay.
Oh, my bad, Salakia. So now it said that they hid from the Most High in the presence of the other trees in the garden. Mm-hmm. So now they went into other nations, hiding into other nations, trying to hide from the Most High. Mm-hmm. Went into other places where other nations dwelt, trying to hide from the Most High.
Right.
And they stuck out like a sore thumb. Mm-hmm. They stuck out like a sore thumb because they got the instructions of the Most High. Right, so you got the instructions of the Most High, and then you try to go into other nations and try to act like them when you know what I mean, when you have the spirit of the Most High on you. So you can't be in other nations acting like them with the spirit of the Most High, because you're going to stick out like a sore thumb, just like we stick out here in America. We stick out everywhere we are.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because you can't hide the spirit of the Lord. You can't hide that. Go ahead.
Kind of, sir. It's kind of similar to when like people are on the run as a fugitive.
Hey, shalom, sis.
And then they steady go and leave the country that they were in. Like, say you committed a crime, right? Hypothetically, and this is what Adam and Eve did. They committed a crime against the Most High, and so they try to leave the jurisdiction, thinking the Most High doesn't have jurisdiction in the other nations, that they'll be able to just go with the flow where they try to run to, where they try to flee to escape judgment. Well, the people do the same thing, and even then nowadays, somebody that commits a crime might run to Mexico. They might run to Toronto. They might go to a different country to try to escape the jurisdiction because they don't want to get judged. They don't want to get put in prison, right? Or it's likewise when people come from Mexico because they're trying to get away from trouble over there, and then they stick out like a sore thumb here in America to the point where we get persecuted. You know what I'm saying? We get persecuted and looked at and put in cages and locked up and scrutinized for every little thing that we do because, of course, it goes against the law here for us to even come into this country, not being a citizen of the country. Meanwhile, other people, they get a free pass. They get boarding and they get housing. They got free food. They got programs, billions of dollars paying for their for their escape of their troubles, but when it comes to our people, we get the short end of the stick. Well, it's because in this case, we're reading about what Adam and Eve did. They done went against the Most High's will, and now they're trying to hide as fugitives or as people on the run from the Most High. Of course, you know very well that you're not going to escape the judgment of the Most High, but this is to the effect of what they're doing there and how it relates to what goes on even today. You know what I'm saying? And so think about it like that, as they're just trying to get away from their fathers or the Most High's correction, from his discipline, from his, because they know and they have shame that they know that what they did was incorrect, right? Learning the doctrines, learning the ways of the other people, the other trees in the garden, right? And so that's something that they got to keep in mind, is that they're doing this because they're shamefaced. They're trying to hide because they're shamefaced, and the Most High is catching up to them, and he's about to give them the business. You know what I'm saying? So
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. Because hey, I tell you something about the truth, man. Would none of us be in the truth if we ever never had to go through any hardship.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what makes us. That's what makes the Most High want us even more, because we went through hardships in our life, and then we come in the truth and we realize that the hardships is what makes us, and what makes us find gold.
Right.
You know what I mean? You couldn't bring anybody out of the world if you never went through anything in the truth.
That's right.
Because how can you tell them? How can you prepare them for coming into the truth and getting their soul ready for temptation? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you've never went through temptation or went through anything, that's why Christ had to come. Christ had to come. Our King had to come like a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And had to keep the commandments and not sin like a man. You know what I'm talking about? Just so that, and die like a man, so he can tell us, like, see, I did it. You know what I mean? I came and showed you how to keep the law. Right. So now you can come keep the law. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's what that's what the Most High wants. The Most High likes that. The Most High likes that struggle. You know what I mean?
Such a way. That's right.
Let's keep reading.
Verse 9. Come on, sir. Come on. And the Lord Yahweh called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou?
Right. Because the Lord came where Adam was supposed to be, and he said, where art thou? You know, so where y'all at? Like,
yeah.
Who told y'all there was some stuff? There was something over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, who told y'all you can even go over there? Like, who told y'all? Where are y'all at? Mm-hmm. Why aren't y'all where I left you at? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you feel me?
I mean, come on now, Salaki, you know, and the same thing goes when a parent's getting after their kid. You like, hey, they yell across the house, hey, you know, if your name was Toby or something, Toby,
right?
You know what I mean? They trying to get your attention. They know they already know you're in your room. They know that you're in the house, but they're gonna yell anyways to announce their presence and to get you ready, get your mind ready for the correction that's about to take place. And that's why Most High's doing the same thing. He's like, where you at? I already know where you're at, but I want to hear you say it for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I want to hear you admit to your fault. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same way. The Most High is getting, you know, he's calling into Adam and he's like, where art thou?
They're better.
You know what I'm saying? Because they talk old school like that. You know what I mean?
Right. But he was, you know what I mean? It's just like when you're in your room, like, right, you're in your room, but you too quiet. You know what I'm saying? So your parents gotta be like, your parents, hey, what you doing in there? They have, you know what I mean? Because you too quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel me? Usually I'll be hearing, hold up. You know what I mean? Wait, what they getting into? And you in there getting into something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I know it often way too well, because I like,
especially when you're young, like when you're 3 or 4 years old, because it's like I gotta keep an eye on you.
Right, that's how men watch their kids, though.
Yeah,
that's how men watch their kids. You know what I'm talking about? They let them play and everything. Then when they get too quiet, hey, hey, where art thou? Yeah, you know, what y'all doing? You know,
or too loud, right?
Yeah. No, not even too loud. Just when it get quiet, when it's loud and they're laughing and joking, running around. All right, I know they good. When they get too quiet, that's when they into something. That
or when somebody screams like they got hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what I mean? Like that's what triggers it. Like, hey,
Right.
Quit messing around. Quit horse playing. Is what they say, right? Good horse playing.
I'd rather hear noise than not hear nothing at all. You know, I'm talking about nothing at all, like unless they sleep. You know what I mean? But my kids gonna snore.
You know, watching a little movie or something. You know?
Yeah. No. They still be in there laughing. And,
like you can kind of tell what's going on just from the noise. Yeah.
They be talking to the movie, like looking at these kids.
Reenacting it,
yeah, but that's how the Most High. I mean, that's how Adam did. You know, they were hiding amongst the other nations. So the Lord was like, where you at? Where art thou? Y'all ain't where I left you at. You know what I mean? Just like when you leave the kids at the park, and they run off and go somewhere else, you go back up to the park to check on them or to get them, and they not there. Well, you get to call on their phone. Where y'all at? I told y'all to stay here, and y'all went over here. Who even told y'all to go over there?
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know what I'm talking about? The serpent.
Yep. That's like when I was young. My pops used to say, well, you can play outside, but make sure you stay on the street where I can see you. If you're riding your bike, you're playing basketball, but the second you leave, because all the other kids want to go down the street to jump the hill with the bikes, you know what I mean? Or to go snoop around the back of the neighborhood where the chupacabra at and slacking. But then your parents be like, where you at? You know what I mean? Like they didn't have phones back then. So you was yelling or you just in trouble when you got back home, if you made it back home, you know, Lord willing. But just to say though, because it's a safety precaution. It's like this man is in charge of your health and your goodwill and your safety and everything and regarding that. And the Most High's, you know, like I said, he's our Father. He's supposed to be making sure we on point too. And so when we fray away from that, we definitely gonna hear about it. You know what I mean?
Right. It's just like when we were getting older, and our parents told us, "Oh, don't hang over there with them kids.
Yeah,
they sell drugs and do drugs and stuff like that." Right. And we went over there anyway. We went over there anyway, and then we went over there. The police came and locked everybody up. So you got to call your parents and tell them that you in jail. And the parents like, I told you not to go over there anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
That wouldn't happen if you listen to what I said.
Straight up. And that's what we're gonna. That's what we get into. So keep that's what we're gonna get into. Keep reading.
That's right.
That's what Adam said. Who? Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Verse 9 again. And the Lord Yahweh called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou?
Right.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked.
Right. Who told you? Who told you about going over there? Who told you to go over there? You know what I'm talking about? You said you because I was naked. When it says naked, it doesn't mean naked like no clothes on. It means naked like no protection. You know what I mean? Because like, who told you that you needed protection from these other nations anyway? Right. I told you to stay away from them. You wouldn't need protection from them. You wouldn't be naked from them if you didn't go over there.
That's right.
You know what I mean? If you wouldn't go over there, right? Now, then they're going to get into the whole situation on how that happened. But that's the whole thing. Like we use that today when we say when you ask your partner, like you got your heat on, you got your fire. No, I'm naked. You know what I'm talking? We ain't literally naked. We just ain't got no protection. Ain't got our right. Weapons on us. You know what I mean? And that's why he was naked. That's why that's why he was naked, because he didn't have the protection of the Lord. You know what I mean? Anymore, because he sinned against the Most High, so he didn't have that protection no more. You know what I mean? He didn't have that understanding of the Lord. He had the understanding of the other nations. So they would not now he can he was eating shrimp, pork, crab, lobster. He was doing drugs. You know what I mean? He was molesting kids. I don't know I'm going to go that far, but that's part of it also. You feel me? You're doing everything up under the sun, celebrating Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving.
Man.
You know what I'm talking about? Doing everything up under the sun that the other nations do that you shouldn't be doing. So now you're naked. Now you don't have no protection. You know what I mean? Now the Lord is just letting them have whatever way they want with you.
Right.
Go ahead.
So like I'll just add to what you said. It sounds like what he's doing right here is he's making excuses to try to get himself out of trouble. You know what I mean? When he's like, "Oh, I heard your voice, but I was naked," and then when you read on, he says, "I hid myself." Like he's coming up with excuses as to why he wasn't where he was supposed to be at. And this is exactly what our people do too. We're always coming up with excuses when something that we do is wrong, instead of just owning up to it and learning from it and not making that same mistake again. And we try to to dilute the punishment by lying and manipulating our way out of things and coming up with excuses to not do things. And that's like from the jump in Genesis, you're seeing it right here. And Adam is saying, no, I don't, Slakia, the Most High is showing you this lesson here to let you know, don't be like Adam, where you do something wrong and then make an excuse about it. And that's the reason why the U.P.K says no cowards and what?
No excuses.
No excuses, right? Because now we've seen the mistakes of our forefathers and people that came before us, making excuses, doing things that are cowardly. Well, some of them doing things that are considered cowardly, breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. And we learn from that. That's why they're here. That's why these scriptures are written here, so that we can remember them and solidify it in our mind to say, whenever something comes up in your mind and make you want to make an excuse or make you want to lie your way out of trouble, that you remember these scriptures here, that even all the way in the beginning, the very first of us, Adam, was also trying to do the same thing, and we are not to be carnal like that. Remember, because the scripture says the first Adam was earthy, right? And this Adam is carnal. This Adam was one that was corrupted and was prone to make mistakes because of peer pressure and influences and quote unquote what the trees had to offer from the other parts of the garden, what the people and other nations around that area at the time had to badly influence him, that would cause the Most High to come at him like this.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
You're making excuses, Salaki.
Right. And it's all about self-accountability.
Mm-hmm.
That's what every brother and sister in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge had to do when they came into the truth.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They had to look themselves in the mirror and say, am I going to be like this or am I going to be like this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Am I going to believe the Bible or am I going to believe my religion?
Right.
You know what I mean? Am I going to understand what's going on and change my life for Christ, or am I going to keep on in the same wickedness that I was always in?
That's right.
That didn't progress me none, that didn't do anything for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's what they look for. That's why people go into other religions. If Christianity wasn't doing it,
mm-hmm.
right, then they go into Islam. If Islam wasn't doing it, then they be a Buddhist. If Buddhism ain't doing it, then they Hinduism. If Hinduism ain't doing it, then they, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Talking about chakras and you know what I mean? Then they go for, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then they're Pan-Africanists.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they're not doing anything that Pan-Africanists do. But I mean, they're not doing anything in Africa that Africans do. They're making up their own. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what they do. But when the Bible is the source of it, the Bible is the source of it. You know what I mean? If you go into the scriptures, it'll give you everything that you need out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to go into the scriptures because Christianity has ruined that for us, right? Because they don't want to take self-accountability.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They give them a perverted version. They give them a perverted thought process of the Bible, because they don't give them the Bible, but they do give them God loves everybody, John 3:16. When that's not really what that's talking about, because there's a you know what I mean? We know there's a context on the word world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, so they don't that's why they do that. But Adam and Eve didn't have no reason to do that, because the Most High gave them everything and understanding and all that from the beginning. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So they didn't have to go into they didn't have to go. It's about to go ahead and go into it. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. It says verse 10 finishing up. It says, I heard thy voice in the garden and was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself.
Right.
Verse 11. And he said, Most High said, who told thee that thou was naked?
Right. Who the hell told you that you was naked? You know what I'm talking about? Like who told you to go over here in these other nations? Anyway?
Right. That's right.
Who told you to do this anyway? Mm-hmm. Who told you to do that anyway? Why are you doing this anyway?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing how we do our kids nowadays. You know what I'm talking about? When your kids start acting up in class or something like that, you're like, so what was going on? I don't know. Well, what'd you do? Nothing. You had to do something. Something had to happen between you. You know what I mean? No. Well, what happened? Well, he was talking about me, so I hit him, and you know what I'm talking about? Like, who told you can hit people? Like, who told you can do this? Who told you can do that? You know what I mean? You're not supposed to hit other people. You know what I mean? Like, You only hit people when you're ordered to. Like, go ahead.
Another common one is when a kid swears at school and gets in trouble for swearing. If they was raised in a household where there was no swearing, which is a lot of our households that we grew up in, there's a lot of swearing. But regardless, even if there was, nobody gave you permission to use those words. But you go to school and you hear another kid saying the wrong, bad words, right? Cuss words. And then you think it's cool to say something bad. And then you barely in 4th grade, 3rd grade, 5th grade. And you using cuss words in class, your teacher get after you, and then before you know, there's a parent-teacher conference, and now your parents is finding out about how you was using the F word and the B word at recess. You know what I'm saying? And you got caught, and now your parents is asking you, who told you could use those words? Who told you can learn that doctrine, that way of carrying yourself, that mannerism? And this is the very same thing. The Most High is checking his son Adam right here, and he's giving him the business. Like we say, he's telling him, he's checking him because he's catching him in his excuse, catching him trying to get his way out of it, and just really nailing it down even more. That you ain't gonna get out of this. You gonna talk to me, and you gonna communicate what's going on, and you gonna find out that what you did was the wrong thing to do.
All right, because who told you to go over there anyway? Keep reading. I just...
Sir. It says. Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
He already knew what he did.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the Most High already knew exactly what he did. So you know what I'm talking about? But he wanted him to confess it to him. Like, I want you to tell me I already know what happened, but I want you to tell me what happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like. And that's how we parent, and that's why, like, that's how I know that we are those people, man.
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's how I know that we are those people, man. That's how I know that because we have that spirit of the Most High. The Most High question our kids just like we question our kids.
Man,
you know what I'm talking about? Like, I already know what you did. I just want you to tell me what you did because I want to know why you did it. What was you thinking in your brain that why you felt like you wasn't going to get in trouble for it,
come on,
or you wasn't going to get caught for it? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's what we all that's how we do our kids. My mom did that. My mama did that to me. You know what I'm talking about? I know it. I used to be like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know why I did that. You know what I'm talking about? But I knew I know now. But back then I didn't know. Mm-hmm. But now I was trying to follow everybody else, do what everybody else was doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Doing all that wickedness that everybody else was doing. Mm-hmm. Getting lost in the sauce when I know when I was taught better than what I was supposed to do. But nobody ever like in Christianity, right? They tell you things not to do things, but they never tell you why not to do it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So they end up doing it anyway.
Damn, yeah, that's heavy.
Right, but hearing the truth, they tell you not to do something, but now we know why not to do it. You know what I mean? Be like, don't get tattoos.
I'm about to say that.
But now we know why not to get tattoos because it's against our culture, it's against our God. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Then in the Christian church, they just tell you not to get tattoos. That's not a good enough reason. You know what I mean? Because you also tell me that tooth fairy. You know what I mean? Y'all, you tell me bunnies lay eggs. Then I get older. I know bunnies don't lay eggs. Why'd you tell me bunnies lay eggs? So they must be lying about tattoos. They must be lying about having sex with whores. You know what I mean? You told me that Santa Claus comes down our chimney. We live in the projects. We ain't got chimneys. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they must be lying about that too.
Mm-hmm.
You told me the tooth fairy came and took my tooth and gave me $1 when I seen you creep in my room. You know what I mean?
You lying to me.
Yeah. So they must be lying about having sex with whores, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. They must be lying about all these things. But see, the Most High never lied.
That's true.
Go ahead. I'm making a point right there.
No, that's what you're saying. Is I'm just kind of following what you're saying. It's on point because this is the very same thing that the most like what our people dealing with kids, bad kids that don't listen, that are rebellious and stiff-necked. Guess what? That's what our people have been to the Most High.
Right.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6 said that My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. You know, because thou hast forgot the law of thy God, I will reject thee. It says, thou shalt be no priest to me. Right. I will reject thee and also thy children. Meaning that your children, because you reject God's laws, your children aren't going to know God's laws, and they're going to be making transgressions against you, even though you feel like you are in some kind of moral high ground, right? Meanwhile, you're also in that same predicament because you go to the Christian church. The Christian church doesn't teach you accountability. It doesn't teach you God's laws. They might tell you, your grandma might have got after you and said not to get tattoos, and you went and got a tattoo. But if you were shown Leviticus chapter 19, you might not have got that tattoo.
You feel me? Like,
you might not have joined Esau's military if you knew that you were supposed to shave your beard. And they make you shave yourself clean cut in the military. Right. You know what I mean?
You might not have gangbanged and murdered your brother if you would have understood Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Right? Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. You might not have kept that grudge against your brother if you knew that law, right, and understood that law. But they don't care about the law in the Christian church because they tell you that the laws are done away with. Oh, the Old Testament is done away with.
You know what?
Don't listen to the Old Testament.
But you know what the Christian church does have? Excuses.
Right.
They give you excuses and they teach you how to be somebody that always have an excuse. And what's the excuse they always tell you? Oh, you could just pray for forgiveness and God will forgive you. Just accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and you will be saved, right? Those are all excuses to keep you from actually doing your due responsibility and serving the Most High, keeping his laws, man. And so this is what we're seeing here. Just from this small example, you see already that even in the book of Genesis, it so much ties to what we deal with every single day in Babylon the Great, and all across the four corners of the earth where we've been scattered. We all had to deal with this very same problem, right? And so it comes down to us retaining our knowledge and getting it back so that we can continue to show the Most High that we do fear him and that we respect him and that we're going to continue to strive to be better so that we could be considered sons and daughters, that he could look back and say, yeah, they listened to what I said. They didn't go and eat of the fruit of the garden of the other nations. They stayed where I told them to, and they locked in, and they will be rewarded for it. And right now, our people are seeking a reward without the obedience that the Most High requires. Our people are seeking a reward while still coming up with excuses to not put in the work that it takes to get that reward. And that is the issue with Christianity, because it does not give you the right tool set to overcome those obstacles.
Stand up. Stand up. There you go. I know. I'm looking at you.
I tell you what, you could read in the English. You want to read in the English?
Nah, because he needs to be up here for Sabbath service.
Okay, no sweat.
Unless he's bringing out you know what I mean?
Okay, Salakia. All right. We was verse 11, right, sir? And he said, okay, Khan. We in Genesis chapter 3, verse 11. And he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
Yeah, come on, and look, hey, and look. I know ain't no snitching, right?
Right.
But this, Adam show did tell on his bill.
He's making another excuse. I'm telling you.
You know, so he's so finna be like, but it wasn't me. You gave the woman to me, but it was her fault.
Oh, you try to turn it on the Most High.
Yeah,
well, you gave me this woman. God,
watch.
Come on, man.
Like what? Like if that ain't a black Hispanic, and they don't hurt you, man, bro.
Like I love this book because it shows us, right? Like it's a mirror. You look in this book, this is a mirror right here, not just a book. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't see how we are literally these people right here, you crazy.
Real talk. If that ain't us, bro, I don't know who is. Man. That's like I'm trying to tell you,
man. Well, I gotta get there. Let me read that for you because I know you just said
it's in verse 12.
Verse 12. And the man said, "The woman whom thou gavest to be with me."
Right. See, Most High, you gave me the woman that you gave me, that you told me that it was supposed to be my, you know what I mean? The woman that you gave me, because she was supposed to be with me because I didn't want to be alone.
Right, yeah.
You gave her to me. Why you gave me this woman? Go ahead.
Who gave us to be with me? She gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Right. She gave me that fruit. She gave me with that pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. You know what I'm talking about? She gave me that weed to smoke. And I did do it. I did. But she gave it to me. And you gave her to me, most. You know, you knew how she was. You know what I'm talking about? Man, why you bring her around me, man? Knowing she liked me and I was going, you know what I mean? And then now you mess with
Yeah.
Now you mess
the
with
hoochie.
now you mess with the skeezer, the whore.
The heifer.
You know what I mean? You knew she was a whore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Because she came there with somebody else and you still slept with her anyway. And then now she got pregnant or something, or she, you know what I mean? This and that. But now she messing with somebody else with you know what I mean? Being the whore she was.
Come on.
And now you mad at the person that brought her around you.
Man.
Brought her around. Like, why you bring her around me, man? You know what I mean? It's your fault. No, it's really your fault because you can't control your lust. You know what I'm talking about? You can't control. You just want to be a sexual deviant and just have sex all willy-nilly with every woman out here and every man. You know what I mean? And now you want to blame everybody else. You hear this a lot with women also. Women always want to. You can put your hand down. I got you.
Oh, okay.
Women always have sex with the drug dealer.
Right.
Have sex with the one that always wants to do that. Get pregnant by him, knowing that he wasn't going to take care of that baby. Didn't want to take care of that baby, right? And then blame him for being a deadbeat baby daddy or a deadbeat father. When you knew you knew he didn't want no kids. You knew that in the first place. You had no business trying to be with him, but you wanted to see if you could change him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? You had no business doing that in the first place. You know what I mean? But that's what happens. Just like me, but my baby mama this, my baby mama that, my baby mama this, my baby mama that. You the one that you chose that woman to sleep with. Mm. You know what I'm talking about? You chose it. It was plenty of other women out here that was, you know what I mean? But you chose that one to sleep with and to be with. So you can't get mad when you can't get mad. You can't get mad when she does what she did, what she was growing up doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You knew she had sex with a whole bunch of different men all the time anyway.
Good night.
You know what I mean? Go ahead. Somebody.
And that's the downfall of so many of us. And, you know, and I don't blame him because, I mean, the Most High did create the woman to be with us. And my goodness, he did his job fantastic because they are amazing, right? They look great. Hey. But they out there doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Like they going to the Halloween party. And what are you doing? You're going to the Halloween party. Why? Because that's where all the broads is at. That's where they all go during the Halloween at the end of October. Same thing with Valentine's Day. Same thing with New Year's and 4th of July. Why do you want to go to the festival? You don't care about going to the festival to celebrate 4th of July. You go there because the women is there. You go to the club because the women is at the club. Even though she half dressed and she ain't dressed according to the scriptures, but you go there because you just can't help it, man. And Adam had the same thing. He's like, I just went where the woman went. She went over there. I was like, you know what? I gotta follow her. You know what I mean? I can't talk back to her because I mean, you know, I'm trying to earn her favor. I'm trying to stay in her favor, and then your life becomes about being a woman pleaser. And before you know it, boom, you're breaking the Most High's laws. And that's what you want to avoid. Because you got to find that balance between, of course, staying with the Most High. Yeah, staying with the Most High and doing what he says. Or again, you know, if you're not leading a woman to being righteous, then she could be leading you to something that unknowingly is not what you're not supposed to be dealing with, right? You know, right. I see so many, like especially on social media, there's more women that are posting pictures of them smoking blunts than men now. It's a pandemic. Are you seeing that, right?
Yeah, you what?
And what's a weak brother gonna do? He'd be like, "Well, man, I gotta go smoke weed to hang out with her, cause she look good and she about that life. So I gotta be like that too." No, don't give in to that, brother. Be a stronger example than that, and make her look goofy for being that way.
And a real nigga like me be like,
and maybe she'll actually respect you. I'm just saying.
You need to put that weed down and focus.
Yeah. Yeah. And also don't get. And Adam he went full in. He's like, well, I mean, you gave me the woman. It was like he was trying to put it on the Most High, like it was his fault. No, it wasn't the Most High's fault. It was your fault because he is testing you to see if you were gonna fall victim to her influence, and he sure fell for it.
But I give you one, right? So what did the serpent tell Eve?
He said that she gonna be as a god
on the earth, right? And that's why we follow them to the Halloween party, because they're wearing no clothes, because nobody can tell them what to put on clothes. Because they're at the Halloween party half dressed, half naked, and nobody can tell them to put on clothes.
Right.
So since nobody can tell them to put on clothes because they're gods on the earth, we're just gonna follow after them and chase after them and run after them.
I see you, Abon. I see what you said.
Right.
Yeah. He gonna simp for a woman.
Right.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
before.
we did talk about
that before. Never do that, because Adam was the first simp, and he had to learn his lesson the hard way. I'm not lying though.
You're not lying. I love the way you put that.
I mean, we gotta learn from that, right? Because brothers even today are still doing the same thing. That's why you liking every post on her Instagram and giving her the googly eyes and trying to hit her DMs, because you'll do whatever it takes, but you ain't following the Most High's laws.
That nigga said the googly eyes.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing the most. Try to get their attention. You do whatever it takes to follow them. Meanwhile, she leading you off the edge of a cliff. You don't even know it.
Right. Off the bridge.
Salakia. For lack of a better term. I'm just saying. Like,
no, that is what it is, though. That is what it is. Off the cliff. When you smoke that weed, you're going off the cliff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When you smoke that cigarette or have sex with that whore, you about to jump. You jumping off the bridge. You jumping head first. No bungee cord. You know what I mean? No bungee cord, because that smoking that weed, that'd be the last weed smoke you smoke. You'd have a heart attack.
Got fentanyl in it.
There it is. You having sex with that whore, you gonna grab AIDS right then and there,
because you couldn't use a condom. You just had to go without it, right?
You don't need the condom. Leave the condom alone. Leave the whole box alone.
There you go.
Leave the condom alone. Leave the box alone. Leave all sexual activity with that person alone. You know what I'm saying? Because the Most High's judgments is, you don't want that judgment. You know what I'm talking about? Because that judgment is something fierce. Ask Magic Johnson. ask Easy E, and ask them. It happens. Keep reading.
It says, verse 13, and the Lord Yahweh said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
Right.
So they trying to point fingers out, they point fingers. It's he say, she say all day, right there.
No, she took responsibility. She said the serpent beguiled me. The serpent tricked me out of my position. You know, so the serpent
I've been bamboozled.
Yeah, the serpent bamboozled me. She took responsibility for it and accountability. That's one thing I can say about Eve right there. She did take responsibility and accountability, which women these days are not going to do. Men these days are not going to do. You know what I mean? Unless you're in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge.
There you go.
Unless you're in this place right here, this way. Unless you're in this place right here, right with us, under Commanding General Yohana, you're not going to take responsibility for your actions. You're not. It's just not going to happen.
That's right.
Because nobody's going to teach that to you. Nobody's going to teach that to you, but they will teach you how to sin. They will teach you how to break laws, how to break God's laws, try to find loopholes around things and stuff like that.
That's right. That's how our enemy operates. He operates by cheating. He operates on conniving and getting away with every little thing that he can. And basically what you got to understand about this is that the Most High is telling you that yes, there's going to be temptations. There's going to be people that come out the woodworks to try to get you to follow their way of doing things. That's part of the test. These are the conditions of the battle. We've been put in this position to fight our way out of it because we dug this hole ourselves by not following the Most High's laws from the get-go. So now we got to fight our way back to get into those laws. And it's even harder now because the warfare is so embedded in our minds to be that way, to only care about ourselves on our own lusts and our own devices and things that make us want to do our own thing. And so that's part of the battle. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so the I.S.U.P.K teaches you how to win that battle. And in doing so, everything else will fall into place. It's just a matter of time before you get it right. You know what I mean?
I need a new garment. You know what I'm saying? I need a new garment. You feel me? I was like, I'm to start putting in orders for next year's Passover.
You gotta do it now, apparently. Yo, it's like let's yeah.
Real talk. You got to do it now for next year's Passover because you got to be prepared.
Mm-hmm. Verse 14.
Yeah, that's where we are, right? Yeah.
Come on. And the Lord Yahweh said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle.
Right.
And,
wait. He said, because thou hast done this, you're cursed above all cattle. You know what I mean? So the cow can run around, be free, and do this and do that. But him, them, no, you can't. You know what I'm talking about? You can't. The cattle going to do its job, but you're not going to do your job. You're going to be cursed above all the cattle.
Right. He's talking about to the serpent, right?
Right.
The Lord said to the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field.
Right. That's why the serpent is. That's why the serpent is not like the rest of the animals. You know what I mean? That's why the serpent is not like the rest of the animals because the Lord had cursed that serpent. You know what I mean? When it's talking about that, we're not talking about actual serpent
snakes, right?
Hey, we're not talking about actual snakes. You know what I'm talking about? We're talking about actual people. You know what I'm talking about? Actual person, actual people. Go ahead.
Right. It says, upon thy belly thou shalt go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Right. Can I be frank?
Go ahead.
The white man, right? That's why everywhere the white man goes. When we had our land in Israel, it was a flowing metropolis, cattle land. Farmland, all that. Now it's dust and dirt over there. You know what I mean? Now it's dust and dirt over there because everywhere the white man goes, he robs, pillage, and it just messes up the earth. Dig it?
That's right.
Salakia, go ahead.
And you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how he operates. Is he operates off of being somebody that comes up with excuses, somebody that lies and cheats to get his way. And you know what I'm saying? Because he affected Eve with that mentality. And that's the mentality that he always has. He always operates. And that's the way that he eats. You know, he cheats the game in Wall Street to make billions and trillions of dollars. He cheats his way in the political system to gain power and authority. And his goods is ill-gotten. You know what I'm saying? His goods is ill-gotten. He is somebody that as if he is creeping on his stomach and scraping and scrapping for what he can. You know what I mean? And even now, you look at what's going on in Ukraine, they look like they dang near eating dust literally because all the buildings around them are being crumbled by the other folks that are trying to fight them. And even they are dealing with a lot of the issues of warfare and the destruction that comes from that. What's up?
Did you hear about how President Joe Biden announced that we're going to actually have a food famine?
Oh, yeah. That's in the chat. Yeah,
It'll be coming. And even when he does have food, he still eats it as if it's not even fully cooked.
Slow down 1 second. Yeah, how old are you?
20.
How old are you?
20.
You see how he's this young man is 20 years old and he's so not politically inclined, but he understands about food famines.
Yeah.
You know, there's 40-year-old men out here, 50-year-old men out here with families and do not know that. So how are they going to? So when the food famine really does hit, it's already hitting now, but it really does hit. How are these 40-year-old, 50-year-old men with families going to feed their families? Because they're not prepared. Because they don't care. They don't give a damn. They're out there chasing tail. See what the I.S.U.P.K breeds?
Men that are aware.
You know what I mean? Young and young men that are aware.
You know what I mean?
Warriors, man.
Yeah,
warriors. Meanwhile, the world they breed Bloods and Crips and murderers and killers of their own brother and sisters, man.
Now you're absolutely right. Men that are considerate, that have awareness, and that have the discipline necessary to not care not only about other people, but for our nation and also for the Most High and keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what the U.P.K is gonna make, one at a time.
And that's why I love this place so much.
That's right.
That's why I love this place so much. I used to watch a show called Doomsday Preppers.
I remember that show.
And I used to be like, man, like how can I do this? How can I do that? How can I do that? was under the leadership of Commanding General Yohana.
We're doing it.
You know what I'm saying? We're doing it. You know what I mean? And it's such an amazing thing to have brothers so young but so understanding. You know what I mean? That's an amazing thing. Imagine when you turn the age of 30 and you're 10 years deep in the truth. You know what I mean? Imagine the understanding you will have then. You know what I mean? Like give clap it up for Commanding General Yohana raising a beautiful nation.
If I could, Salakia.
Go ahead.
And another thing too about learning at a younger age is you don't have to live a life with all these mistakes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can live a much better life that goes much smoother because you're learning things early on. You know what I'm saying? Whether you have family that grew up in the truth and are teaching you, or if you're making the effort to go and learn from the men that the Most High authorized to teach this truth, and you coming into the fold and learning how to make wise decisions so that you don't have to be put in prison.
Right.
So that you don't have to deal with baby mama drama and child support and AIDS and gunshot wounds. Salakia.
I'm waiting on it.
And what?
I'm waiting on
Christianity.
I'm waiting on you to say. I'm waiting on you to say the perfect thing about the topic that we're on right now.
You go ahead.
So you don't have to make the mistakes like Adam in following a woman.
No.
And messing up behind a woman, because most of the men out here, that's what their mess ups are behind women.
That's true too.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to do that. You learning now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's why when we was in Houston and everybody was like, "How old is you?" And you told them, and it was like, and they were telling you like, "Man, I wish I would have found the truth when I was that age." You know, so every brother out there said that, did they?
Yeah.
Every brother out there said, "I wish I would have found the truth when I was that age," because they know how important it is that to because we come in the truth and we look back, we like, man, if I would have known that back then,
right?
You know, I wouldn't have made that mistake on having that baby mama or having that, doing that and doing that. I would have been totally a different creature on the earth.
Yeah, no doubt. Salakia, and what you're saying is so heavy, because when I first found out I was an Israelite, I think I was 20, 21 or something like that, right? But Commander General Yohana, who's all the wisdom that you could hope for in the leadership of black people, he came into the truth. What was he, 17 years old?
You get what I'm saying?
You see, so that's why it's good to learn as soon as you can, to desire the sincere milk of the word, as newborn babes, as the scripture says. I believe it's in the New Testament, Philippians or Galatians or something like that, where it's talking about learning those things from your youth up. And Adam had the same chance, but he blew his chance, right? He blew his chance because he wanted to follow after women and follow after his own lusts. And so he had to also correct that over the lives to come. Okay. And so the thing is, who knows what we've done in our previous situations here on this earth. But in this life, we are here to make a standpoint and to make sure that we follow the Most High's laws, no matter if you're 50 years old, 20 years old, 10 years old, 5 years old, 30, 40, it don't matter. What matters is that you lock in and you stay locked in, because that's what's going to allow you to find success in this battle that the Most High has put you in on the earth, in these conditions, with the influences of the world bombarding you every single day, right? We just had Easter, right? And the second Easter is done, you go to the store, Mother's Day, they pushing all their holidays one right after another. So right after Mother's Day, what are they going to push? Cinco de Mayo, everything. I'm talking about all of it. All of it that has nothing to do with the scriptures. They pushing it the second that one is over. Like, this is the same thing, especially during Thanksgiving. They all about Thanksgiving and blah, blah, blah. And then the moment Thanksgiving's over, it's gotten to the point where it's overlapped with Black Friday and Christmas shopping. And all it does is keep their influence and power, because your money is going into their pockets and not into Black and Hispanic Native American businesses. And it's keeping us down and, making them richer and richer. And we continue to be slaves for them willingly. And when you find out the truth, it becomes grievous to you, because you love serving your enemy. You love making his kingdom stronger because it's fun for you. It's an escape from the reality of the hell that you're in. Instead of you actually saying, you know what, we got to stop doing this and switch things up. Because what you're doing right now, you're like Adam in the garden right now, naked. You're the one that, Christianity, people that are in Christianity, you're eating of the fruit of the tree of the garden. You understand what I'm saying? That serpent is beguiled you because you celebrate Christmas, because you celebrate Easter, which we know is Saturnalia and Ishtar and those other things of the Greco-Roman Empire that we are not to be influenced by. And to find out that in the truth, to get the specifics on that history, will help you get rid of those demons that make you want to do those things or be influenced by other people to following after their customs. But now we're going to chop them doctrines down bit by bit with the sword of the truth, the scriptures that the Most High gives us. That's what's going to fix our people. It's like y'all just holding it over. You go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's finish up. Let's keep.
Salaki, what we got? It was 4:30. Okay, so it says, and above every beast of the field, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. That's the end of verse 14.
Right. And dust shall thou eat all the days of thy life. McDonald's, dust.
Right.
Burger King, dust. All that's dust, man.
Medium well, dust. Blood.
Dust. Yeah, they don't eat that, they drink that.
Shrimp, crab, lobster, those are decomposers. They eat of the dust.
Pork.
Yeah, pork. They eat whatever they can eat.
Bat, rat. I don't know. I don't know if white people eat bats, but
escargot.
Hey,
snail. That's snail.
Let's go back to Hebrew though. Let's go back to Hebrew. Let's
get these. We in Genesis chapter 3. Now we in verse 15. Right. Why ayaba ashayat.
Good.
Bayanaka.
What kind?
Wabayan. Ha'asha.
You got one in your truck.
Wabayan. Zara Aka. Zairak. Salakim.
Will it last the next couple?
Wabayan.
Next couple minutes.
Zara I.
Go get it, bro. You 12.
Hawa'a. Yashawapar. Ra'ash. Wa'atha. Tashawap naha. Nawa. Tashawap nawa. Aquab. Verse 16. Al. Ha'asha. Amar. Harabah. Arabah. I Tazaba. What? So like yeah. I Taza.
Pawanya.
Bawanya. But Bawanyak.
Bawanyak.
Yeah, there's a K there. Sorry. It says Wahara Nak. Ba'ai Tazab. Haladaya. Hanayam. Wa'al. Ayashar. Tashawak Thara. Tashawakra. Wahaya. Yamashal. Baka. Verse 17. Wala Adam. Amar. Kal. Shema'ith. Lakwal. Ashathar. Hatha Akal. Mana. Ha'aitaza. Ashar.
Let me see.
Tazawayath Raka.
Is it USB or is that
La Amar?
I don't have that charger.
La Ta'akal.
I don't have that charger. You could probably
Mama Nawa
or something, but I don't have that charger.
Ara wrote
Ra. If it had to play that plug, I don't know.
Adama. But Ibawa Rakah. Ba'aitaza Bawan. Tha'akalna.
Yeah, and that's a C chapter, right?
Yamaya. Hayayak. Verse 18. Wakwa Raza. Wadawadra. That Tazamaya. Laka. Wa'akalath. Atha. I.S.U.P.K. Hashada. Verse 19. Bazai. I.P.K. Tha'akal. Laham. Al. Shawabak. Al. Ha'adamah. Kal. Mamana. Lakwahath. Kal. Ipar. Atha. Wa'ala. Wa'al. Ipar. Thashawab. Verse 20. Wayakwara. Ha'adam. Sham. Ashatawa. Hawa'a. Kal. Hawa'a. Hayatha. Ama. Kal. Haya. Verse 20. Wa Ya'isha. Yahweh. Alahayim. La Adam. Wala Ashath. Wa. Kathnawath. Iwar. Wayabasham. That's the end of verse 21.
Go ahead, let's go to the English.
Verse 15. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and shalt thou bruise his heel.
Right. So he said, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, right? And then it says between thy seed and her seed, right? And this shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Right. What is that talking about?
And he's talking to the serpent still, right? So he's basically telling them, I'm gonna put enmity between thee and the woman, and he's talking about a future prophecy being foretold about their seed clashing, basically.
Right, but think about if the serpent's the white man, right? And then Eve is like an ancient descendant of Jacob, right? Where is that coming from? Remember, and I will bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Who's a heel holder?
Jacob held on to Esau's heel. Yeah.
There you go, brother.
So it's talking about Jacob and Esau.
You know what I mean? But Jacob and Esau is who?
Descendants of these people here.
No, they're who now?
Oh, you talking about the Israelites versus the Edomites?
Yeah, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Blacks, Hispanics, Native American being Jacob, and then Esau being the descendant of the so-called white man that derives from the Greco-Roman Empire.
Since the beginning, we've been at odds with each other. And that's the crazy part. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Right. He's going to greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Right. What is that talking about? Conception. Go ahead.
So like the crazy thing is like women, they have to go through very excruciating pain when they have children, right? Conception is when somebody when they bear children. But you look at any animal on the earth, do they go through pain when they give birth? No.
No.
You see a dog give birth to like 7 puppies, just popping them out, like, and she's just chilling. She posted up. You seen an elephant give birth to a big giant baby elephant, no sweat. You see even a seahorse giving birth to hundreds and hundreds of babies all in one spout, no sweat. But a woman giving birth to one baby is seen. You know what I mean? It's not easy, and that's why it's talking about that I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Like, come on now. That sorrow, that's what you see all over social media right now with everybody posting half naked pictures. Meanwhile, she crying to sleep every night. And then, of course, a lot of them post about it. They say, I may look like I'm all right, but I just got to cry my eyes out.
Right, because I'm lonely.
Because
lonely at night.
Their sorrow is multiplied.
That's why they have dogs and cats. That's why they die. That's why they're the old cat lady. That's why
from The Simpsons, right?
Yeah, the old cat lady. The old cat lady. Yeah. They have a dog and that's their baby, or they have a son and they treat him like you know what I'm talking about, like they like he's a man because they want him to be a man. You know what I'm talking about, because they need a man. They want a man, but they're not going to get a man because they're naive.
There is a place where you can get one though. It's in the I.S.U.P.K. We build men up. We chose and we give them a different way. But like I said, it's, a lot of these women out here, they're going to go through that multiplied sorrow. And especially when they give birth. I mean, you got to use, numbing medications just to have a child these days. You know what I'm saying? So there's much pain to go through just to have a kid. And the Most High is telling you right here in the Bible that that's why it's the way that it is, because it goes all the way back to Eve. So y'all get mad at her for that. Take that up with her. But also know that changing your ways here on earth is going to eventually make things better for our people. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully the Most High will lift that curse at some point. Who knows? I mean, I imagine that's what perhaps that would be a glorious thing to occur. Because then imagine you don't have no issues having kids, and then when you find out you're pregnant, it's all joy. You know what I mean? There's that sorrow that hangs over many of our sisters' head when she finds out she's pregnant. One, because our people are so broke, you don't even know if they're gonna be able to afford the diapers and the daycare and the responsibilities that come with it, right? So all those things, like in the hood, in the south side where my Mexican sisters at, in the east side where the Judite sisters at, they find out they pregnant, and you worried about the wrath of your mom and dad because they know dang well that none of this can be afforded, and you barely hanging on by a thread if you are living on your own. Meanwhile, our enemies, they out there living great lives. They find out that they're pregnant. It's a miracle for them, especially Esau. He can't even barely have kids. But when their women get pregnant, they ready for it with open arms, waiting to help, waiting to give money to make sure you don't have to work. But we still, our women are still working pregnant at the call center, at the job, 7 months, 8 months pregnant, because you still need that paycheck. And then everyone's looking at you like, why are you here? You should be resting. Well, our people are in hell. There's multiplied sorrows being afflicted on our people because of the condition that we're in. And we have to continue to deal with those things because we lack the knowledge of the Most High, and we've rejected his knowledge. And in doing so, the Most High is putting us through the fire right now. And we come through those things, we change our ways, then things may not be so bad. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe things will be much better. Salakia. What we're about to read right now, what we're about to continue to read is even more heavy because you're seeing these examples every single day out here. Right? Verse 15 again says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Okay, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
No. The woman's going to rule over him.
And he shall rule over thee.
No. No, the kid's going to rule over him.
He shall rule over thee.
No, he should rule over the woman. And because go read the last precept before that.
It says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Right, because a woman wants to please her man. She wants to please her man. But for some reason, because the devil has control of her mind, and when I say devil, I do not mean a red guy that's down below earth with a pitchfork.
Right.
I'm talking about a race of people that show you everything on TV, that show you everything that everything you listen to on the radio. Right? That give you your religious standpoints, that gives you the books to read, that gives you your schooling when you're growing up, that give you the food to eat, that give you the clothes on your back, all those hoochie mama clothes you wear, the short shorts and all that. That is something that is designed to give you to give you that mind state to I want to wear that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a race of people that gives you that gives you everything that's in your mind right now. You know what I mean? But they take you away from that natural state of wanting to be a woman. You know what I mean? They take you away from that natural state. That's why it says, who turned the truth of God into a lie? You know what I mean? Who turned the truth of God into a lie? That the woman even left the natural use of her natural use. You know what I mean? Of being being a nurturer and being a what did you call it? Being a nurturer and being a mother, being feminine. You know what I mean? Just like the brothers lost that natural use of being a man. You know what I'm talking about? Of being a provider, of being a protector. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody that gives guidance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that. You don't see much of that no more. You don't see the OGs, the people that teach you how to roll a blunt rather than teach you the law, statutes, and commandments. They teach you how to how to run the streets, how to load a Glock before they teach you how to to celebrate the Sabbath, celebrate Passover. These are all the things that we need to be coming back to. We need to come back to these things because not doing it is why we're in this position. You know what I mean? But the problem with you see women out in the world, you brought up a good point when you was talking about the clothes that they wear, where they had to buy those clothes. They had to buy it from our enemies, like it said in Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Right.
We had to buy our clothes from our enemy. And then the clothes that we buy from our enemy leads our women to feel like she's in control. She's empowered because of the clothes that she's wearing that she bought from our enemy. Right. And he armed her with the ability to control men around them.
Which is no clothes at all.
It's
not really clothes. They're undergarments that they're wearing. Those tights that they're wearing are undergarments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those little booty shorts, those are undergarments. Even though they're nothing but they're jean pants that are cut off, where underwear stop. You know what I mean? They are now considered underwear. But now they wear remember that movie Selena?
Oh yeah.
And remember the bustier she was talking about?
Oh yeah, her dad got mad about her wearing it.
It's a bra. You know what I mean? It's a bustier. It's a bra. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
her dad was mad too, because he was righteous for that because he was getting after her, saying, "No, you ain't about to go out there looking like a hoochie mama." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
getting after her, and then he eventually gave in. Why? Because she was the one in power. She was the one that brought riches to the family, right?
You ever seen women at the pool or in bikinis, right? Taking pictures at the pool or bikinis?
Yeah.
Never seen. I don't see that anymore. I see them in the bikinis taking pictures in their restroom.
In the restroom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't go.
They're in the restroom taking pictures. I'm thinking like, so I'm waiting to see some pictures when they're at the beach, at the pool, actually wearing those clothes. They're not, because they don't care about going to the pool.
That's what that clothes is for. That
no, it's not.
But not
for them.
Anymore, no,
not for them. For them, their clothes is those clothes are for the internet. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Those schools are for internet. In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we won't see that. We won't see our sisters doing that.
Nope, that's right.
And if they do go to the pool, they're covered up.
Yeah.
They're covered up because there's a way you can go to. There's a way women can go swimming covered up. There's a way they can do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, damn right.
That's why kudos to all of our sisters in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge.
Keep things orderly to be that way.
You know what I mean? Keeping things in order and being feminine and being a loving woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Clap it up for them. Give them a hand. Give our sisters a hand.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Give our sisters a hand because these other nations out here, these other groups out here, Christian groups, Islam groups, all these different groups out here, they are making whores out of our sisters. Mm-hmm. But in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we make women out of our sisters, mothers, sisters, daughters. You know what I mean? Out of our sisters. Real talk. Let's keep reading.
Come on, sir. Verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I command thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
Stop. So are you telling me that they're telling me there's no laws and statutes and commandments in Genesis? Wait a minute. There's law, statutes, commandments, and judgments in Genesis.
Yeah.
That was you feel me? That's a judge. He told him because wait. Can we start that verse over again one time?
This is heavy right here. This is that book of Eli scripture right here. You'll see. It says, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it.
That's a commandment. That's a commandment right there. That's a law right there. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
Man, that is a judgment. That is a judgment right there. Go ahead.
In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
Right. And what?
In sorrow thou shalt eat of it all the days of thy life.
Man, go ahead.
It says, thorns and also thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat of the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
Okay.
Salakia.
I know you. Go ahead. That's what I'm saying.
So when humans were first created, the ground was not cursed. The nourishment of the crops in the ground were not cursed, and mankind lived much longer. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, the ground is so cursed. We've been tilling the ground for years and years, and the earth itself is not at the level that it was when the Most High first created. Because of this curse, mankind does not live as long as he did back then. How many years did Adam live?
He was like 900. So
how many years does Methuselah and Noah live and all them, man?
It was like 900.
You know what I mean?
700.
Yeah, cycles around a sun. They live that long because it says, "Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow thou shalt eat it all the days of thy life." We have been living on an earth that's cursed, and our foods. Remember, your body is made up of what? 7 main minerals and trace minerals that all come from the earth. Ultimately, it requires those minerals to make your body. And the earth is not as strong as it used to be. So our bodies are not as strong as they used to be because of what happened here with Adam. Perhaps there may be a day where the earth may not be cursed and our people will have their years back.
Well, we're gonna have to stop listening to our wives.
Like, girl, I'm trying to be at least 500 before I look 50. You know what I mean?
That's why we die. That's why most brothers die at 52.
You know what I mean? Because the earth is just, it ain't what it. I mean, you could eat vegetables and you still won't get enough zinc. You still won't get enough magnesium. You know what I'm saying? That's the curse that we deal with here.
Nobody.
That's the issue, and this is going back to the beginning. We're talking about this right here is when it happened, right. And that's why you trying to do your diets, You taking supplements, right? Your body, I mean, but of course, those supplements had to come from the earth too, right? They didn't just come out of thin air. The earth is cursed, and our bodies do not last the way that they used to because of this curse.
Right.
That's the whole point I'm trying to make, so that you can see that, yeah, we don't have the longevity, but we have work to do so that we can get those things back. Because remember, when the righteous beareth rule, the people rejoice. When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Why are they mourning? Because people are dying when they're 60 years old, 70 years old, 80-year-old. The whole earth is mourning constantly because there's always people dying.
Right.
Because the wicked beareth rule.
Right.
Because the serpent had beareth rule.
Let's keep going.
Come on.
We gotta finish class.
Verse 20. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Verse 21. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord God make coats of skins and clothe them. That's the end of verse 21.
All right. Yeah, let's go ahead. What time is it? Yeah, let's go ahead and end it.
Okay, sir. Dude, you have to call me up.
With that, I might.
Where's it at?
Good night. You give me a whole cup, huh?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Can't chug all that at once.
Yeah, you can.
La Yashala.
La Yashala.
Take good, man. All right. So we're doing the Lord's Prayer?
Yeah, you got it.
I can pass it to you.
Oh. With that, I'll turn the face to the east.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash. Haya. Shimka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Haya. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Haya. Bashamayim. Nathalanawa. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Wasalachanawa. Chabawathnawa. Kasalachnawa. Kabawathinawa. Wala'ah. Tabayanawa. Banasai 1. Abal. Hawashayanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Wa'ala. Wa'atha Pa'arath. La'aiwalamyam. Aman.
I'm going to do the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Go ahead and grab the scroll. Wrap it up.
It's got a string around it or what?
No, we got to. It's Velcro.
Okay, most of correct.
All right, go ahead. No, it's on you.
I'll go over to the side.
Yep. Salute the scroll. We salute the Torah.
Follow his lead.
Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabaraka, Yah. Major Shabbat. Major.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakatah.
No, it's Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabaraka, Yah.
Brakiyah. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakiyah.
All right. No, you can just dismount. All right.
This thing's nice. That's the word.
So, all right. Now we get one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amadu Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatar.
Yadibata. We're going to start, turn the pages, sisters. Men of Israel, Amadu Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Alatam by Hashem Yahushua.
Yadibata. Class dismissed.
Christ.
The water, sis.